All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Kakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to us younger brothers. And peace and blessing, salutations to the hopeful lake out here pushing his word and truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Bashim Al Shai, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful lake, the believers, the listeners who may have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashim Al Shai. And what I want to get into this morning, two topics, just a real quick, spirit in motion. All right, is out and about this morning. But dealing with balance and also, all right, vengeance. Okay. Now first we'll start off going into the balance, and everyone pretty much had the same story, coming to the truth, how we came in with so much zeal, finding out who we are in the spirit, finding out that we're Israelites, finding out about, the true image of the Heavenly Father and His Son, finding out about promises, finding out that we've been bamboozled, by this society, all right, and the enchantments and the wicked holidays, and we've been pretty much worshiping pagan gods, and we come in and we find these things out, and it creates a zeal, and we do things, we destroy, all right, relationships, okay, we confrontational because we had that zeal, but then we start to mature and we start to balance out, within the faith, and we grow in understanding, and then we settle into this thing, man. And one thing that's an ongoing, that's an ongoing thing within this truth is finding that balance, finding that balance. And some brothers, they on different ends of the spectrum, and we'll go into that. Some brothers, all right, you believers, some of you sisters, man, that come in, we on different ends of the spectrum, and within that spectrum, we have to find a balance, all right, that's productive for us in the spirit, which makes us productive and an asset to the body. Now, when you go here, this is Sirach 7. Now, this is Ecclesiastes 7. Okay, Ecclesiastes 7:16. It says, "Be not righteous over much, neither make thyself over wise. Why shouldest thou destroy thyself?" And, you have some men, that's like that, to where they can go too far, okay, in attempting to be righteous. They can be over wise and overthink things, and I know I'm one of them, type of brothers, they can be over wise, they can overanalyze things, they can, be over righteous, in different things, whether it's, trying to keep the law, diet, you can be too over righteous, and it can be a hindrance. See, how we know that we're going too far, and off balance is when it's a hindrance unto us, when it's a hindrance, man. So some brothers, have to be reeled back in. Okay, some brothers, have this, this zeal, to try to be very tedious, which, we should always, attempt to get better and better, within righteousness and continue to learn, grow. Okay, but then there are certain cases where we can be doing too much. We can overcomplicate things by overthinking. Sometimes before a lesson, if y'all could just see, how I be sometimes before a lesson, I be there for, a long time trying to get every single precept, trying to go into every single word, trying to pull up this documentary, this article, and I find myself now I have to simplify those things, I try to keep it simple as possible now. Some videos, just gonna be long because it's gonna be full of information, and you gotta cipher through those things. But then there's times where, I shorten certain things now because I don't want to overthink it. So you have brothers that's on their spectrum to where they can be extreme, you know, and they can be extreme in how they move, and that's a gift, you know, and it could be a curse if it's not balanced, you know. So we want to make sure that within this that we find balance, okay, for brothers, that's like that. And like I said, I know I'm one of them brothers, because that perfectionist spirit, you just want to, dot every I, cross every T. But sometimes the spirit will be like simplified, sometimes you do live screens and you might have 38 precepts, but then the point will be made, all right, in 10 precepts, and the spirit be like, okay, that's the point, you know. So you got brothers that operate on that end of the spectrum, and those brothers have to get, sometimes real back in, and then you have on this end, all right, Ecclesiastes 7 and 17, it says, "Be not over much wicked, neither be thou foolish. Why shouldest thou die before thy time?" Yeah, because brothers will read, you know, 17, Ecclesiastes 7 and 16 about being not over righteous much, but then they won't read 17, where it says, "Be not much over wicked," you know, and you can be doing too much in the world, like it's some brothers, they party too goddamn much, man. There's too, they got their balance is off because they spend a lot of time in worldly things and neglect the spiritual, you know. Some brothers need a foot in the ass, man, to get productive, So you have those two spectrums where you have a brother where he might, you know, need to get wound back in, and then you have on the other end of the spectrum, you have a brother that needs to get a foot in his ass, man. A spiritual foot in the ass, man. To get to going. You know. So within those two spectrums, as believers, it's on us, to, as the scriptures say, which we'll get that. I think that's hold on real quick. Good morning. How you doing? So you have, both ends of the spectrums, and we learn ourselves through experience. And see, one thing about it, in the truth, we really learn ourselves, all right, in the spirit. We really learn our spirits in the truth. And as we learn our spirits and being honest, first we gotta be honest with ourselves. Like we can't deny how we are. Like one thing, I know how I can be. So that gives me the mindset to be aware when I'm doing too much. But it's time, okay, hey, it's a time to, be tedious and, be, very diligent and, but then it's a time to keep it simple, and just make the point, So as we learn ourselves, one thing we learn is how to govern ourselves, man, and to have a guard on ourselves, man, because you're going to the word temperate, it means to have self-government, you know, because if we can't govern ourselves, how can we govern, all right, a province? How can we govern, okay, a portion of the kingdom, okay, if we can't govern ourselves? So, as we learn ourselves within this truth, we learn how to govern ourselves, man, like some brothers, like I say, this, you can spend too much time on documentaries and, reading and going through things, and then some brothers, hey, they spend too much time on a goddamn video game, man. If you in the top elite, okay, in your career mode in 2K, it's a chance you spending too much goddamn time, man. And like I say, they got two different ends of the spectrum, but there has to be a balance somewhere in between. And each brother is just different. Like it's go here. I want to get this. All right. This is a Rock 37, and 27, it says, my son, prove thy soul in thy life and see what is evil for it and give not that unto it. Yeah, so as we learn ourselves in the spirit and we go through these trials and errors and we learn ourselves, one thing about it, you know, we have to understand, what we need to stay away from. We understand this flesh. We understand our weaknesses in the flesh, so we have to understand not to put ourselves in them circumstances to where the flesh can take over. you know, we know the things that we're weak to in the flesh, okay? Whether it's women, liquor, okay, both, partying, clout, attention, we know, okay, the things that hinder us in the spirit. All right, every brother doesn't have the same alcohol tolerance. Every brother doesn't have the mental capacity, to deal with women, or on a certain level. Every brother doesn't have the capacity to know how to step out, you know, mingle a little bit and get out the way. Every brother doesn't have that capacity, man. You know, every brother doesn't have, the capacity, okay, uh, when it comes to money, getting a certain amount of money to where it wouldn't destroy them, man. Every brother, that's why the scripture in Proverbs 30, you know, give me food convenient for me, which is give me the portion, okay, that's gonna suffice me, okay, or that's gonna be efficient for me, within this ministry, because hey, we get, pretty much each brother has their certain spirit that the Lord knows the exact dollar amount to give them, all right, for us to be balanced. He knows the exact, portion that we need to be balanced, man. Okay, because the Lord, all right, created these spirits, and He knows the tipping points of these spirits within us, man. So it's always gonna be an ongoing thing, finding that balance, and we learn it through trial and error. Okay, it said, for all things are not profitable unto all men, and neither have every soul pleasure in everything. Yeah, so all things are profitable to all men. That's another thing. We can't look at brothers and just because they're not a duplicate of us, we look down on them. Like the brothers that are more studious, more okay, more bookworm brothers. They can't look at the men that are not as studious as them and look down on them, okay, and be like, man, uh, 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 he could be doing this. You find yourself critiquing, but really, as long as that brother maximizing within his lot, that's his portion. You know, you see, and the brothers that go hang out, and uh, are more sociable. They can't look at the men that are more introvert and that are more studious. More the bookworm type. They can't look at those brothers if they're uptight or if they're doing too much. That brother just doing what's profitable for him. You know, as long as that brother is maximizing in the spirit, being a good brother, that's just that brother portion. you know, and in the flesh, we all guilty of particular things, and as we mature, we're learning like, okay, that's that brother's spirit, and that brother he fighting, he with the portion that the Lord gave him, hey, he's being efficient, you know. And you look at the other brother like, well, that brother, that's how he built. He just built like that, like that's, that's his life. He's more of a stoic. Okay, he's more, of serious minded. When it comes to particular things. It's just that brother's spirit. Some brothers are punctual, extremely punctual. That's brother's spirit. But at the end, we all have to find, our balance. On what works for us, man. Because I know my lifestyle will bore, will be a bore to a lot of brothers, man. I know that, so I wouldn't try to force a brother, to do what I do. Like I know that it's just my individual spirit, and some brother's lifestyle, with me, I would feel like this is a waste of time. Okay, like spend the day with a brother, like, damn, this is a waste of time. Okay, but that's that brother spirit, to keep him balanced, within the faith, So I can't look down upon it. I just know that it's just not for me, or how I move, not for him. If that makes sense. All right. Now, um, so I'm reading 28 again, and it says, Sirach 37 and 27. Now 28, it says, for all things are not profitable for all men. All right, neither hath every soul pleasure in everything. So I know that, what's my thing, a brother could have no pleasure in it, man. Every brother don't like sports, Every brother not into, okay, is not into, stepping out, and being around people, They just brother spirit. You see? It's all about, finding our balance in Yahweh Shai, finding our gift and really, you know, tapping into our gift in Yahweh Shai, man, you know, and all the other extra, curricular events, it is what it is, you know. So, let's see, brothers. Yeah, brothers got a few on the comment board. Let's get these. Okay, let's see what we got. All right, this is the brother beyond Yasha, Matthew 11:29. It says, take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and you shall find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Okay? Yeah, because, within Yahweh Shai, we don't have that burden of trying to be popular or trying to be trending in this society. We put that burden off, and we really tap into the Yahweh Shai that's within us. And there's a rest and there's a peace, that comes, with that. All right. Now this the brother Tazamak, GMS through the fire too. This Job 31:4-6. It said, doth not he see my ways and count all my steps? If I had walked with vanity, or if my foot hasted to deceit, let me be weighed even in an even balance, that the Most High may know mine integrity. Yeah, and we want to be weighed, in an even balance. Okay? We want to be weighed in an even balance, man. It's all about balance, man. Finding balance in this thing, man. Because even as we, especially lately, I've been working out. But then even with that, because you can get too engulfed into that, start to neglect the ministry. So there's even a cap, have to put on that, when it comes to working out, health, there's even a cap that has to be put on that. And one of the best things, to work for me for balance is to go ahead and handle my business in the spirit first thing, because when you go into a sacrifice, you will give your first fruits, you will give the best of your flock. Okay, that's what you will give to the priesthood to sacrifice unto the Lord. You will give the best. Okay, you will give that first increase, all right, to the Most High. So now, our sacrifices, our energy, our time. So, what works best for me, because I know my days can get hectic, is to go ahead and give that first, all right, fruits of my energy, of my time to Yahweh Bashim Al Shai. Make that be the first sacrifice of the morning, okay, is giving that time to Yahweh Bashim Al Shai, whether it's through reading or doing a lesson, okay, watching videos, okay, just giving that the first part of my day unto the Lord, or going from there. This is this is GMS through the fire, Proverbs 11:17. It says, the merciful man doeth good to his own soul, but he that is cruel troubleth his own flesh. Yeah, and no one knows us better than us, man. No one should know our strengths and our weakness better than us. you know, so we can manage those things. You know, going back to governing, the way to govern yourself is to know yourself. If we really don't know ourselves, it's hard. It'd be hard to govern. So as we learn ourselves, especially, you know, in the truth, we can manage ourselves. We can govern ourselves, man. You know, and understanding, you know, how to set ourselves up in the best position to win. You know, and then we start to master that, then we're able to set up people around us in the best position for them to win. Okay, now we're beginning to become, you know, lords and overseers. You know, beginning with ourselves first, and then, you know, with those around us, man. Okay. Uh, yep, the simplicity of Yahweh Shai. So now I want to just real quick touch on vengeance. You know, before we close out, if a brother could post 2 Thessalonians chapter 1, verses 6 through 8, you know, and we get ready to close this thing out. You know, just wanted to touch on that, you know, because though we gotta find that balance. You know, it's a different brothers. And those different brothers, like I say, those brothers on different ends of the spectrum is meant to balance each other out. You know, those brothers, you know, that are more, you know, on the sociable, you know, the more of the practical, okay? Those men are needed to reel in those men that can, you know, be extreme in the spirit. You know, those men can loosen uh, those brothers up. You know, that's extreme in the spirit, and the brothers that's extreme in the spirit, you know, can put a spiritual foot in the ass of brothers that need it. You know, through edification, through exhortation, man. You know, so it's all a balance in the spirit, and we all here to balance each other out. That's why the Lord got, you know, different spirits. You know, he got different men from different spectrums. All right. Now, this is the brother. So like, this is the brother, Bayan Yasha Allah. Okay. Make sure everybody. Hold on, real quick. All right. So, hold on, real quick. Try to make some of these brothers moderators. Salaki. Yep. So let's get this in 2 Thessalonians. All right. Chapter 1, verse 6 says, "Sin is a righteous thing with the Most High to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you, and to you who are troubled, rest with us, when the Lord shall be revealed from heaven with his mighty angels." Yeah, man. So this is why, you know, we're able to rest in prophecy. We know that we don't have to try to form our own military against this devil. Okay, we know that we don't have to march. We don't have to beg him for to pass certain laws for you know, injustices, and you know, we don't have to do none of those things, man. We just rest in these prophecies, man. You know, we're all troubled. You know, this devil kingdom is a trouble to us all. You know, it's a burden, you know, to every Israelite under the sun. Okay, but we understand that we, all right, have the victory through prophecy, man, and it's gonna be through Yahweh Shai. Okay, you know, that's gonna be the victory. The Lord is gonna pay back this devil everything he's done, everything that he's doing, and everything that he plans to do. He's gonna be paid back, all right, in the time to come. Okay, and we're very close to that time. All right. So vengeance, all right, is of the Lord, you know, and that puts us at rest, you know. That puts us at rest, man. We can rest, all right, in faith and understanding what's to come. Okay? Because when we see these things, you know, when we see things happening in the earth, the first thing we do is, you know, we say, you know what, we can't wait until the Lord judges this man, till this man is judged, man. You know? That's our faith. That's what we rest in, man. Reading verse 8, it says, "In flaming fire taking vengeance on them that know not the Most High and that obey not the gospel of our Lord. All right, Yahweh Shah Hamashiach. That's not only speaking of Esau Edom, but our people as well. Who are fully, you know, in cahoots. Good morning. Yep. To our people, that's fully in cahoots to this devil, man. Okay? The Lord is going to exact vengeance on everyone, man. 2/3 Esau, these heathens. The Lord is going to step down on these people, man. Like, this is going to be justice, okay, being executed in the earth, man. And it's through Yahweh Shai. All right? So, as we await these things and we're finding balance for ourselves, finding our balance, what makes us, more efficient in ministry, more efficient in our day-to-day, because we got to be efficient in both, because we can't, just be concerned about spiritual things and neglect, okay, the practical, all right? And we can't neglect the spiritual things and be engulfed in the practical, man, all right? We got to hold down both, That's our duty, okay? Because really, when you think about, the office of a king and a priest, well, a king, would deal with the more practical affairs of the empire, and the priest would deal with the spiritual affairs, okay? Well, under the order of Melchizedek, we're becoming what? Kings and priests. So we got to hold down both, As a king, he will be over the treasury, he will be over the economy, the day-to-day operations, okay? And the priest, okay, was dedicated to the spiritual. So now that we have both offices, we got to hold down both offices, man. We got to hold down to both. So, yeah, I just want to put that out there, Lord will, you brothers. And you sisters edified. Till next time I say Shalom. Kwam Yashalom. Abba Babal. DTA soon. Shalom.